Hello, and a very warm welcome to all the people attending this Ask Me Anything webinar session today with Intuit leaders to understand how one can build an analytics career at Intuit. It has always been a challenge for professionals to land the right analytics job given this extremely competitive environment. As a matter of fact, the basic requirement to excel in this field includes having relevant degrees and, of course, a good understanding of mathematics, statistics, and artificial intelligence. However, despite having these skills and degrees, professionals still struggle to find the right job or their dream company, and that's where Intuit comes into the picture. In order to provide professionals with the necessary guidance in order how to make their career analytics and data science domain, we have organized this hour-long Ask Me Anything session where you will be able to ask a variety of analytics career-related questions to our expert leaders. So don't wait up, start dropping your analytics questions right away on our questions tab. And to answer these questions, we have with us today Ms. Radhika Kannan. She's the technical program leader at Intuit AI. She comes with an expertise in delivering critical and highly scalable products. She has a solid experience in leading large teams and setting influencing organizational tech vision and strategy for creating business impact. And along with her, we have Risse Babu. He's a technical recruiter at Intuit, and he's a talent acquisition professional who has been in this industry for 14 years. He has an experience of placing candidates across the board, including the executive level. Risse has a strong recruiting professional skilled has a full cycle recruitment experience with a passion for providing great candidate experience throughout this process. And today they will talk to us about the traits that Intuit leaders are looking for while recruiting the data scientist in their organization, the data science culture that they currently evolving in this organization, the data science opening positions, and the skills required to succeed in this era in general. This session will definitely have a immense and a strong Q&A session, so start dropping your queries as I mentioned. And without any further delay, I would like to welcome Radhika and Risse to this webinar. Over to you guys.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the warm welcome. So let's get started. So once again, thank you all for joining in this late hours. It gives immense pleasure for me and Radhika to host this event to explain what exactly we are, to give an understanding of what exactly we do as an organization, and also to give you some traits about the data science work that we do at Intuit. So let's quickly get started. As we have already heard, my name is Risse. I'm a part of the talent acquisition team here, being with Intuit for over 7 years now, predominantly managing hiring across different business groups, different product lines, and for various verticals. Prior to Intuit, I was with Amazon, where I was responsible for setting various teams, which includes the Amazon Prime, retail business services, and the various retail systems teams. So along with me, I have Radhika. I will ask Radhika to quickly introduce herself.
Hey, thanks, Risse. So, hey everyone, my name is Radhika. I'm working as the technical program leader for Intuit AI team for the past 3 years. It's been a wonderful journey helping set up this team from ground up, and we've come a long way, and we're happy to share our journey, our learnings with you today. Prior to Intuit, I was working with Amazon in a different domain in retail, and it's been wonderful to make this transition over to analytics, data, and AI, and looking forward to this talk today. Yes.
Thank you, Radhika. Thanks a lot. Let's get started. So let me start with our vision. What exactly Intuit is focusing upon, right? So our mission, as we can clearly see, is powering prosperity around the world. So we want to make sure that we are able to enable a better life for all of us. So powering prosperity around the world is our mission. So, and a quick overview about what exactly we are. So as you can see, Intuit, we are a global technology platform company that helps consumers and small businesses overcome the most important financial challenges. We were established in 1980, so that means we're almost 39-year-old company in the market. In terms of our global presence, we are spread across the world. We have 20 locations 9 different countries. Our total employee strength is around 14,500 employees as of today, with a customer base of 102 million plus and counting. And our revenue as per the 2021 is around 9.6 billion US dollars. So again, you can see which are the locations that we are spread across. We are in Canada, US, we are headquartered in Mountain View, California, and we have presence across the globe. We are in Paris, in France, in UK, Israel, Brazil, Mexico, Australia, and India. And we are very proud to see that India Development Center is one of the largest development center outside of Mountain View office. So really a lot of innovations, developments, and we have all the presence of all the major product lines in our Bangalore office too. So next is a quick journey line of what we were and what we are and what we want to do next, right? So since we started in the year of 1990s, that was the time of DOS. From there, we came on to the era of Windows, and from there we moved to the era of web, and then we came to the era of mobile and cloud. In the 2020s, this is the era of.
I'm sorry, I'm butting in between your presentation. Your audio is little muffled. I do not want our audience to miss out of very important details that you're sharing. So
Sure.
if you can.
Yeah, is it better now?
It's little better, but I can still hear a lot of background noise. So
Okay, let me just try it again. Just give me a minute. Yeah, I think it should be okay now. Even I could hear a lot of background noise, not sure.
yeah, we can still hear the cars honking, but if
Definitely not.
possible,
Yeah. Okay, let me try again, Marie. Is it fine now?
yeah, a
Yeah,
lot
it's
better.
much better.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So I'll just quickly recap then. Just to give an overview about our journey line, we started in the year of 1980s. That was a time in the era of DOS, and from there we moved to the era of Windows, and in the early 2000s it was the era of web. The 2020s were the era of mobile and the cloud, and right now in the 2020s, right now, we are in the era of machine learning, data science, and artificial intelligence. So you can also see our employee base, our customer, and the revenue over the period of the last 39 years. So when we started in 1990s, we were just 150 employees, and right now we are 14,000 employees plus and still counting. And also our customer base rose from around 1.3 billion to around 102 million plus customers right now. So this has been a very, very incredible journey for us in terms of where we are and what we are doing right now. Quickly moving ahead. So these are the things which I just earlier mentioned as well, right? So we are a global technology platform company that helps consumers and small businesses overcome their most important financial challenges. And we work on mobile, we work on cloud solutions, and also on web. And as I said, right now we are in the machine learning data space as well. So to talk about our product line size, so we have 5 major products. The first product, our flagship product, is QuickBooks. QuickBooks is basically an accounting or a financial software, which is predominantly used by the small and the medium scale businesses for accounts, payroll, invoice generations, billing, etc. The second product that we have is TurboTax. TurboTax is basically a tax filing software. The third product that we have is Mint. This is basically a financial money management software. And the next product that we have is Credit Karma. This is basically an application where it gives the free credit scores and credit reports. And then we have MailChimp, which is basically a marketing platform. So these are the 5 major product lines that Intuit operates upon. Moving quickly ahead, these are our core values that Intuit thrive on. One is definitely integrity without compromise, courage, customer obsession, stronger together, and we get it give back. So everything that we do at Intuit, right? It is in every work that we do. We thrive with all the 5 major values that is being mentioned here. Moving on, one other point which I want to highlight is about diversity and inclusion, right? So everyone talks about diversity and inclusion, but we actually practice in real time what is diversity and inclusion for us. While our diversity and inclusion approach starts from the top by clearly setting out the goals, measuring them, and holding ourselves accountable to make sure that we deliver that, our employees also contribute so much to make sure that Intuit is a great place to work. We are very proud to say that we have a lot of benefits for the Pride Network at Intuit. To call out very specific to the diversity and inclusion, we have a gender neutral washrooms. We have a safe space for counseling. We also have gender affirmation surgery reimbursement. We also have healthcare coverage for the same-sex partners, and we also have life insurance nomination for the DRI. We are very proud to say that we are a gold employer in the India's Work Equality Index in the year of 2021, one of the 21 companies that recently certified so. So with this, I will quickly hand over to Radhika to take the session next.
Okay, thanks, Rishi. Right, so at Intuit, like Rishi said, our mission is to power prosperity around the world. And we really believe that data science, machine learning, and AI can make a real difference in getting there. And Intuit's biggest USP lies in its strategy of being an AI-driven expert platform, where we actually are looking to solve problems with a customer and a platform-focused mindset. Next slide, please. So Intuit has a very strong data-driven culture. And if you look at the number of customers we have, they use our products all the time. They're creating a large number of transactions, and every interaction that the customer does with our products, they're giving us continuous feedback through data. And that puts a tremendous focus on both data and AI technologies. And it's by harnessing the power of this data that we're able to greatly enhance customer experience and be able to build very innovative, smart experiences in our products that are truly capable of powering prosperity around the world. Next slide, please. So D for D and D for D, Design for Delight, as we call it, is big at Intuit. It's one of the biggest reasons. It's one of the biggest reasons Intuit is as successful as it is in the product space over all of these tens of years, right? Specifically, if you look at the data that we get, and it is the deep dives that we do with this data, that helps us actually understand customer pain points better and helps us develop this deep customer empathy. So we're just able to look at customer data that's available from across our ecosystem. And then we bring in a whole bunch of AI teams that are then focused on building a lot of different experiences for the customers using machine learning, knowledge engineering, NLP, right? And that's what helps deliver very personalized, automated, insightful products for customers. Next slide, please. So here, we've tried to illustrate a simple example of how much we can learn about the customer, even from something as simple as a chatbot conversation, where they come in and they're keying in, let's say, questions. Are those questions long? Are those questions short? Are they frustrated when they're trying, or are they trying to reach out for help? Right? So we can learn a lot about customers even from chatbot conversations. And here is where AI comes in and helps our customers work better and smarter, because we can then use this data to predict things for them, to automate a lot of things, to personalize their experience within the product. Next slide, please. So naturally, we have a lot of products, we have a very big ecosystem, and we have to leverage all of the data that's flowing in. And this is what helps our data scientists build much smarter products. Next slide, please. So Intuit has a unique advantage. I have to say, we are sitting on a rich and unique data set, and that actually helps us employ so to speak, cutting edge ML tech, and helps us solve a lot of these problems and build intelligent systems. Next slide, please. So I know this is trying to capture a lot in a single slide, but just wanted to give you a flavor of the kind of work that happens at Intuit AI and Data, right? So we work on several interesting AI problems in the fintech space along the product lines that you just saw. This includes things like categorization, document understanding, financial advice and insights. We're working on expert augmentation, right? So largely, if you look at it, use all this data and drive personalization. And there's also some work that's done on marketing sciences by the team in India. We can talk a little bit more about that in detail later as well. So next slide, please. So just wanted to give you also some examples of work that's owned, driven, and completely built out of India. So in the QuickBooks product, we've built like a proper financial spell check, which helps customers avoid data entry errors. Right, so that's an example. In the Mint personal finance app that Rasi spoke of, we're helping customers with budget recommendations, with subscription insights. There's a whole gamut of things, but specifically wanted to highlight that that there's work that's completely owned and driven out of the India team. Next slide, please. So I'm hoping if you're inspired by what you just saw, and you're considering a career at Intuit, or even for that matter, a career in analytics, AI, or data, right? Let's go back to Risi and see what he has to say about how we can actually become part of this tree.
Thank you, Radhika. Thanks a lot for that. I'm sure all of you had a fair idea about what exactly Intuit is offering in the data science space. So I just want to, being from the talent acquisition team, just want to give you an overview about what kind of skills it's needed to become a data science, to work in data science space at Intuit. We are looking for algorithmic modeling, someone who has experience with data mining and manipulation, as well as in product sense. We have roles across the spectrum, right from an entry level, which is a data scientist, to that of a senior data scientist, to a staff, principal, destination, etc. So to talk about educational backgrounds, right? So we are looking for someone who have a minimum of masters in applied maths, stats, or computer science, focused on ML and AI, even for PhD holders. So moving along, right? So just want to call out some of the recognitions why Intuit is being treated as the world's best place to work for, right? So we are number 11 as per the 2022 ranking for the Fortune Best Workplaces in Technology. Number 5 ranked for Fortune Best Workplaces in Technology in 2020 as well. Number 6 in 2019 ranking for World's Most Advanced Companies Software. And then number 7 in term for the People Magazine Companies That Care. Continuing ahead with the recognitions for India, for number 1 in 2022 for Analytics, India Magazine's Best Firms to Work for Data Scientists, India's Best Companies to Work for the list for the rank number 15 in 2022, India's Best Places in Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, number 10 in 2021, and top 10 Best Companies to Work for Women in 2021, we were ranked at number 10. So what lies in Intuit India, right? So what does Intuit India do? So we are the right combination of meaningful mission, innovation, and technology, and also a great place to work, which helps all our employees to do the best work of their life. Are you ready to power prosperity? Please visit our career site, that is intuit.com/in/careers. you have a overview of all the open requisitions that you have on the data science space. Please do visit us and apply or refer anybody who is interested. We are more than happy to take things forward from here. With this, we would like to conclude and we would like to open up for questions from the audience.
Yeah. Thank you, Risse. Thank you, Radhika. Great introduction to the organization. And of course, thanks for the information in terms of the skills and everything. We will dive right into the questions. We already have a few of them already piled up. So, okay, to start with, let's take up one quick general question that I find very interesting. Shubham is asking, is data science is still the sexiest job of 21st century? Let's start with that, then probably we'll delve into a little bit more intricate.
Okay, I can try answering that. Um, well, I'll reserve my opinion on is it the sexiest job of the century. But you know, when you're a data scientist, you know, you tend to ask yourself one question, right? Like, what is the objective function that you want to optimize for, right? And I think it's different for different people, but I think for most people, they would agree if I say it's satisfaction, and knowing that the work that you do has utility and it's making a positive impact in people's lives, right? So that's like a good yardstick to use to really determine if this job is you know, sexy enough for you to pick up. There's another component of satisfaction, and that's growth. That's not necessarily like you know, growth in terms of your career graph, but I think when you talk about data science as a career, I think you have to think about you know, are you really excited about solving tough problems? And you know, when you pick those tough problems to solve, are you constantly you know, pushing the boundary? Right? So if these things excite you, then yeah, it's the job for you.
Okay, I hope that answers Shubham's question. Then the next question is being asked by many of these attendees in various forms. So I will quickly take up one, and probably that answers a lot of people's queries. Can you tell us a bit more about the kind of skills you are looking for in a data scientist, specifically in your organization, and the specific skills that you need?
Sure. Maybe I'll take that up. I have quickly touched base on it in my presentation as well. So the first thing, the major data science skills that we are looking at is for algorithmic modeling. The second area that we focus is on data mining and attribution, and the third one is on the product sense. So these are on a very, very high level in terms of what are the major skills in data science that we look into.
Okay.
Can I qualify that? Yeah. So I mean, if we have to, I mean, I know these skill sets are like broadly defined, but they're typically terms that you'll find on, you know, some sort of a typical job description, right? So in case you're interested in like sort of demystifying it, like think about it. Think about it as, you know, we want data scientists who come in. We typically tend to like look for like certain skill sets. So like comfort with data engineering itself, right? Like, are you comfortable with Spark, SQL, maybe using Databricks, whatever? Are you able to do the data engineering part? And then are you aware of you know, how to do your hypothesis testing and applying these things practically, right? And then when it comes to modeling, you know, what is your knowledge of the different models that are out there, right? So when it comes to skills, like, do you know which model to use where and when, right? So that's a very discerning quality of a good data scientist.
Absolutely. This, I'm sure a lot of people who have joined this webinar session must be having this question in their mind. So I thought I'll just get that out of the way at first. Okay. The next question is about the interview process at Intuit. Somebody is asking, can you tell us a bit more about the interview process at Intuit? And is there something specific we should expect if we want to join the data science team?
Cool. Thanks for that question. That's one question which I was waiting for to answer as well. So to talk about the interview process, right? So we have an awesome way of assessing the candidates, irrespective of what skill or job level that you are applying for. Our interview process is very open and transparent. So in interview terminology, it's called assessing for awesome. That's called A4A. So the process is very simple and straightforward. We just have 4 rounds of interviews. And the highlight is that we will do all the interviews on the same day, and we will also let you know the feedback in less than 24 hours time. So that is the USP of this interview process in general. To go in depth, what exactly happens in all these 4 different rounds of discussion. So of course, the skill sets varies from different roles that you are applying for. But on a high level, one of the major highlight is we want to give an opportunity for all the candidates to showcase their skill, what exactly they have done. So how do we do that is by providing them an opportunity to work on a real-time business problem, which is very, very close to the particular role that we are hiring for. In Intuit, we call that something called a case study or a craft demonstration. So we send across a problem statement much in advance. They get an opportunity or ample amount of time to prepare on it and present the solution to a team of panelists who go in depth in terms of understanding how exactly the candidate have solved the problem, what are the challenges that the candidate have done, what kind of primary and secondary research they have done. Their understanding in terms of not only on the technology aspect, but also on the soft skill. Along with that, we also emphasize everybody to showcase any of the proudest 1 or 2 projects which they have done in the past. Because when you have done your proudest project, you have a lot of things to talk about it. So how have you done it? Why it was proudest moment for you? How did you achieve that? What are the challenges that you faced there? How did you overcome those challenges? What was your learnings from that? So it's a mix of, I would say, technology questions as well as the behavior or what we call like the values questions that we have, which is in very much in line with our leadership values of Intuit. So this is what the interview process at Intuit is all about. Not anything different from for data science team, but we have the same process irrespective of which team, role, or level that you're applying for.
I hope that sort of explains how it works. The next question we have is from Naresh. Naresh is asking, I feel stuck as a data scientist and want to grow to become a senior data scientist. What are your suggestions? Radhika, if you want to take this up.
Yeah. So there are some things that I can definitely think of and I can share with you. So today, if you really look, right, there are a lot of people who are practicing data science, as early as school, college days and stuff. So I think for the move from a data scientist to a senior data scientist, of course, there are obviously some concepts that you already know, and clearly, there's application of those concepts also that you already know, right? So what is it that will take you to the next level? Maybe some things that I can think of. One is, let's say you build a model, right? And in most cases, models work and they kind of deliver the outcome that you're looking for, deliver the business results that you're looking for, right? Now, in the event that it does not do that, right? Then what? So I think something that differentiates a data scientist from a senior would really know the art of communicating why your model is working or not. That's one of the differences between just doing the work and then being able to talk to your counterparts about why your model is not working, and then telling that story, right? And there's another in the sense you're able to research, given a problem, you're able to work on it, you're able to solve it, you're able to build out an algorithm, whatever model it is that you're building. But there's also the need to like align with the business. Right, oftentimes you build out something, 95% of the work is done, but it's that 5% delta that actually makes all the difference between just having that model built and then taking it to production. So I think these two aspects, if you're able to focus, like if you're really able to align with the business, understand their problems better, and then make sure that the model that you're building is actually well aligned with their goals, and you're able to like deploy that in production. I think yeah, those qualities will help differentiate between a data scientist and a senior.
Absolutely. Okay, this brings to the next question, which is about the projects or the kind of projects that the data science team at Intuit is currently working on. So if you can throw some light on what kind of projects, if people joining at Intuit will be able to start their hands on.
Sure. So very exciting tech work happening at the team here at Intuit AI. So some of them, some of them we can discuss. So one is we're definitely doing real-time clickstream tracking and modeling. So what that means is pretty much we're able to understand what the customers are doing in product, how we're understanding their product usage, and we're able to like detect user intent, right? And then we're able to like provide the right interventions. Suppose a customer needs help, or if they're showing the intent to churn, how can we actually help such customers, right? So that's one kind of work. There's some work that we're doing in the NLP space. So for example, we have experts that are staffed talking to customers, and they take a lot of notes, they're chatting with customers, and we have solutions that do text auto completion and help increase expert efficiency. There's also NLP work in around attribute extraction. So what that means is customers come in and they're entering a lot of data in different transactions. Could be like an invoice form in QuickBooks, right? And it's customers enter a lot of free form text data in all these transaction forms, right? It could be their sales representative, it could be things like this product, this delivery date, right? And all of this free form text data that is sitting in the different transactions within QuickBooks, it's super challenging because there's no it's free form basically. Yeah, it's not like fixed format. So we kind of use NLP to help extract these attributes so that these customers can use these attributes later, for things like reporting, right? So that's another area of work, NLP. There's work that the team is doing in document extraction, document understanding, right? So we have things like PDFs. It could be images of things like receipts or tax documents. It could be semi-structured spreadsheets, where let's say customers were actually using spreadsheets to run their business. So we work on extracting different entities from these PDFs or spreadsheets, and then help customers avoid manual data entry, right? There are cases in which customers are repeatedly doing tasks, and we help automate that, right? And the error detection example that we spoke of, they're keying in numbers in QuickBooks. Are they making mistakes? We help them catch that, because errors in invoices and other places could be costly financial errors, right? So apart from this, the team is also working on AI native and automated insights, right? So we use ML to like provide them with insights, and highlighting them for the customers and how they can actually action on it to maybe improve their revenue or understand where the distribution of their expenses. So this is a lot of I know a lot to pack in a single question, but I wanted to bring this out because the team is doing very solid tech work, and outside of the projects itself that we do for the company, there's also a lot of research work that's done, which means there's enough and more support and focus for papers and patents. A lot of work within the AIT.
Awesome. That's a well descriptive answer, so I hope that helps. Okay, we have another question. This is from Shivai. He's asking, do you consider candidates from non-engineering background like economics for data science and product management positions?
Maybe I'll take that up, right? So as I mentioned, right, so normally for data scientists, we look for somebody who comes from a statistic, computer science, or that background. Non-engineering, generally no, but again, it's open for discussions for sure.
Okay, great. Karuna is asking, what is the technology stack that has been used in Intuit? You want to take this up, Radhika?
So tech stack, as in specifically for AI or?
Yeah, I think specifically for AI and ML models.
Okay. So I know, like I said, for the Databricks, I mean, we use Databricks and SQL, Spark, right, to do data engineering. We use AWS Infra, right, SageMaker notebooks, EMR notebooks. So that's the kind of knowledge I have around what they're using. If they're looking for anything more specific, maybe if the question can get more specific, I can try answering it.
Okay, great. So Radhika, you were just talking about NLP. So I think OIS has asked, in NLP work, does Intuit also apply transfer learning technique in real time?
Transfer learning we've done in marketing sciences, targeting models. In NLP space, I don't know, right? I think it's good to say I don't know rather than to say something else. Yeah. So yes, but
Absolutely.
I have seen the team kind of doing things all the way starting from something like TF-IDF all the way to transformer models, right? But where in this is transfer learning? Yeah, I'm gonna say I don't know.
Okay. Okay, great. Rishi, I think this next question would be for you. Iqbal is asking, is there an online internship opportunity at Intuit?
Online internship opportunity, as of now, it's not there. So we have our NCGs and co-ops. That's the only process that we have as of now. Online internship is not there now.
Okay. Similar line, Aditya is also asking, any opportunity available at entry level that is fresher in data field as a data engineer or data analyst or data scientist at Intuit for an aspiring data scientist?
Definitely, yes. We have positions across the skills that has been called out. Please feel free to visit our career site, careers at intuit.com, that you can send across your email resumes directly there too. Feel free to look into our open jobs in our career site and apply for it. Definitely, we'll revert back to you.
Awesome. Rishi, while I'm reading out the next question, if you can quickly drop that link on the chat box for our audience to have a hand on that as well. Radhika, I think you will be able to answer our next question. If you can elaborate a bit about how a typical day of a data scientist in Intuit looks like, and what would be a business problem be like in Intuit?
Sure. I've seen data scientists on the team working very closely with, product management, to kind of understand what their roadmaps look like, right? So we have different business units, and we have product managers in these different units who are like who have very clear. Who have like a clear vision and a clear roadmap, right? So they have some goals and they're working around it. So our data scientists kind of spend a lot of time working with the product managers. They even do like customer interviews, right, to like kind of understand or narrow down and arrive at which problems should be tackled using AI, right? Like which ones are worth solving using AI. So that's definitely on the cards for them because they wear all these hats interchangeably. They work with design very closely to kind of think about how exactly to transform some of these experiences that customers have in product, right? So how can we make them truly smart using AI? So data scientists drive much of these discussions as well, working closely with product and XD. So now with the assumption that they know, for example, there's a clear objective and they know what to do, right? Then it's the data story. So they work across with analysts from different teams to like understand what data is available. They talk to the PD teams to understand which parts of things are instrumented, what data do they have, right? And then on a typical day, if you're already working on a project, like I said, like you probably work on cleaning this data, right? Like you have some sort of hypothesis that you're after, so you're trying to like clean this data and work on that, right? They work on, let's say, feature engineering and stuff. Then the actual modeling and yeah, so most of the data scientists that I talk to on the team are not doing like a model.fit, right? They're not taking like an off-the-shelf model that's available and they're not using it. So they are actually, while they're aware of okay regression models or gradient boosting or random forest, I've seen that a lot of the times kernels are also worked on and written. So that's also a large part of time that the data scientists spend on. They're actually doing the modeling bit, right? They spend time on doing presentations that talk about, okay, we did a particular pilot or an A/B test. What were the results of it, right? So they're actually talking about, some of the impact that the work has driven as well. So yeah, that's, I think, a lot of what the data scientists do. And of course, they have a lot of fun as well. So there's a lot of non-work stuff that goes on at office as well.
Absolutely. So with relation to that, Gokul is asking, what is the team size of the data science team at Intuit looks like?
So at Intuit India or Intuit globally? Intuit AI globally, right? So
He hasn't mentioned. I believe he would be joining the India team. So if he would like to, so
sure. So I'll give
yeah.
both. Globally we're actually one org, analytics, AI, and data, and globally we're a little over 1,000. In India, we are around 125.
That's quite a team. That's quite a number. Okay. Saida is asking, is data science work can be done from home?
Yeah, we've all worked from home for the past 2 years, more or less. Absolutely, and we've all worked from home and worked from home very successfully. I think in several cases, these collaborations, especially with work from home, has become even better because we're able to connect pretty much with a team member here in India, or let's say with someone from Israel or US with the equal amount of ease. Like both persons to talk to are pretty much like one Zoom call away or things like that. So yes, we've definitely been empowered to work remotely.
Great. Okay. Prajwal is asking, what is the salary package we can expect as freshers at Intuit?
Okay.
Very straightforward.
Happy to take that, but as I said, right, so salary is something that we want to keep it a bit very confidential and sensitive, but very, very happy to take that question offline and answer that. But trust me, we are definitely not going to disappoint anyone with the package that we offer. And we are at par with industry standards in terms of the competitors that we have. In certain cases, we have over and above on the market standards too. So uh, in a single line, you won't be disappointed for sure.
Awesome. Uh, okay. Shoaib is asking, can you please tell us about a project that you guys did on computer vision?
Okay, I can take that. Computer vision, it's not something that we've deployed in production yet. The teams did try to apply, computer vision to kind of like I was talking about, right? We had free form spreadsheets and we were trying to like do attribute extraction. So we were thinking of uh, doing some POCs around that to figure out how we can identify these different columns in these spreadsheets using computer vision. So so yeah, that was an experiment that was done. Yeah, and like always, right? I think for all, what is true for all data science problems is, once you think that you've identified a problem that, let's say in this case, you can solve with computer vision or, otherwise, we move very quickly, right? So we have this nice and structured development process, which allows, all the team members to really do a very quick and dirty POC to really figure out, is this problem solvable? What does it look like, if implemented in this particular way? And then, if it's acceptable, then we kind of go into like a small pilot or an A/B test, right? We kind of do an experiment to see, how things work, and only if that's successful, we kind of go in and do like a full-fledged investment, right? So until then, it's a blank canvas. You're free to explore and experiment. Uh, there are no limitations around, what you could be using and how you could be solving the problem.
Okay, great. Okay, we were talking about the global team size and Indian team size. I think related to that, Satish is asking, does Intuit recruit Indian resources for a global opportunity?
Yeah, maybe I'll take that. Definitely yes, provided we have the right skills match for the location person is applying for. And of course, looking at the global situation as well. So because there are a lot of, it's not only about the role open there, it's also about the the global situation in terms of the pandemic. So there are other visa processing, everything has to fall in place. So definitely in a short answer, yes.
Awesome. A lot of the questions I have been getting on the questions tab is where to apply. So if you guys quickly can go to the chat section, and I have just dropped the link that Rise was talking about, and you guys can please go ahead. We'll be able to check out the job openings Intuit is currently they're offering, and the apply link as well. Okay, moving back to the questions. Will there be a technical round for the data science interview process? I believe yes, but Risi, please.
Yes, definitely yes. So when we say technical, right? So that is a piece which I was talking about earlier, right? So we send across like an exercise or a craft problem or a case study we share with all the candidates to prepare ahead of time. So there's a lot of research that they do. There's a lot of work that they do on the technology side as well in order to come up to the solution for that. So the first round of interview is basically a review of the work the candidate have done on the case. In the subsequent rounds of interview, we will go a little bit more deep dive, as well as we try to give a technical problem then and there to understand how the candidate is thinking on the feet and solving the problem then and there. So it's a combination of both technology as well as the culture fitment questions, the behavior questions that we have, where we look for a combination of both to make sure that we have a successful hire there.
Cool. I'll just qualify that because I think this question came again, right? I think Rishi had kind of outlined this process. So so maybe for clarity's sake, right? So all of the things like Rishi explained, right? Like for a regular engineering team, as is with the data science team as well. So there's this all of the usual stuff, right? There's a pre-screening and then there's a phone screen to like, I think an initial phone screen is always preferred where, we kind of try to understand at a very high level, like, very general data engineering, data science principles. This is a round which is not too deep, right? maybe around an hour, where just so that the folks on the call get like a fair idea of what that experience could be like, right? Like, what's word to vec, have you implemented, or if you were to implement a neural network, how will you go about it, right? Like, especially in a distributed system, things like that, like, no, very general kind of questions. Then the assessment goes to what Rishi described around craft, where you're given this problem to solve, and then off of that you have like a full-fledged tech discussion, right? Like, what is the approach you used, what other information could you have asked for, a whole lot of things like that. The subsequent interviews are also tech, especially for a data scientist, right? Yeah, so there's definitely going to be things like like a proper software engineering interview itself, right, where you're asked questions on dynamic programming, linked lists, tree traversal, right? General things. So you're expected to, clear like a regular software engineering interview as well. And in addition to that, there's a very deep tech interview, which kind of says, okay, you're talking about a lot of different models, maybe linear regression or something else. Can we go through that, from scratch? Can you like explain all of that? So just to give you a flavor of what kind of depth it could be, right? And then, like, going back to what he said, it's also cultural fitment and behavioral questions. So yeah, it all needs to come together. So that's the full interview process, guys. It's very deep and it's very thorough, and it's what we call A4A. So we assess for awesome. Yes.
Yeah, I hope it is sort of clear now. We have another question that probably you guys can help us with. How is the career progression chartered for senior data scientist at Intuit?
Sure. Maybe I'll take that, right? So when we say career progression, if you're looking for career progression within the data science, right? So I had mentioned that in my presentation earlier too. So the different levels or hierarchy that we have. So we have data scientist, senior data scientist, staff data scientist, principal data scientist, distinguished data scientist, and fellow data scientist. So this is the individual contributor hierarchy if you want to stick on to an IC. At the same time, if you want to grow into a management hierarchy, we have a different growth path for the managers as well, like an engineering manager for data science manager, group data science manager, director. So that's how the hierarchy goes up on the management side. So if at all you want to, let's say you want to look out for a different skill within the organization, right? From the data science, you want to take up additional skill like a machine learning or an artificial intelligence, right? So if you want to move between jobs or move between levels, we support a lot of internal mobility and opportunity for people to pick up skills and grow there as well. So we have been very flexible and open about it too.
Okay, I hope that sort of explained how the hierarchy works. I have a question from Shibai. He's asking how the business analyst positions different from the data science position.
So I can start. A lot of people actually probably think that a lot of analyst work is not supposed to be done by a data scientist, but that's not necessarily the case. I think it's very important to be a good data analyst in order to like be able to do good data science work, right? And in some senses, sorry, Sejati, can you play back that question again? Like, did they ask how it is different, analytics and data science?
Yeah. How the job position of a data analyst is different from the job position of data science.
Okay, so historically, I can talk about like what had been the case, right? So what had been the case is, I think analysts were kind of very focused and working very closely with the product management and the business leaders in the different functional business units, and they were helping. Their primary focus was to help glean insights from different from the various data sources that were available, right? So I think that was what the analyst was mainly focused on. With the data scientist coming in, they were actually able to, largely automate a lot of these things, right? And I think that's the key difference, right? Like, you don't actually go back and put manpower again and again to like derive all of these insights, but models are actually helping inform this in an automated way. But yeah, skill set wise, please keep in mind, I think there's analytics and DS has a lot of overlap, and if you have any option, especially if you're trying to break into this field, analytics is a very good place to start.
Absolutely. Uh, okay. Radhika Karuna is asking, can women with a career break but with relevant qualification, which is PGD in data science, can apply for a data science role at Intuit?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I don't know if Rishi, you want to talk about return to work?
Absolutely. So that's a great question as well, right? So I want to talk about one of our flagship products program called Intuit Again. We started this program almost 6 years back. So what this program is all about is like any women engineer, irrespective of data science or engineering or data science or data engineering as such, right? So somebody who have taken a break from the normal work and maybe for various reasons like family, personal, or it could be any personal reason which they have taken a break. So we are providing an opportunity for them to return back to work. So what we do is that we have a program called Intuit Again. So we are giving an opportunity to get back to the normal workspace. So we hire them as interns for 6 months. So there's an internship program which happens for 6 months. So during that 6 months, we treat them as regular employees. We provide them all the necessary details or the life project which they'll be working upon, and there'll be also regular checkings, mentorship, guidance, resources provided to them so that we bring them up to speed and they also start delivering. So towards the end of 6 months, what we do is, during that 6 months itself at regular intervals, we do a proper check-ins with them to understand how exactly they are progressing, what do they do, what are the help they need, what kind of mentorship they need. And towards the end of 6 months, we do an analysis of how exactly they performed. And based on how exactly they are doing, we convert them as full-time employees. Or we also go to that next extent of if you feel that, or if the employee also still feels that okay, they are not full-time ready, we continue them as contract employees with Intuit as well, so that down the line they pick up that muscle or build that muscle, build that more skills and become a full-time employee. So we have been successfully running this for the past six years right now. In fact, for 2022, we are about to launch our next program in next couple of months. Sajal, I think you're talking on mute.
I'm sorry, yes. I said that very interesting to hear about the initiative. Associatedly, Saida is also asking if there is a training process that is made up for the, for the people who have just joined, or as a fresher, or as some experienced professional. Any training process after joining?
Okay, so specifically for data science, right? So there's the regular onboarding, but there are options to take, let's say, 1 or 2 day courses in refresher courses. Okay, apart from that, we have programs like ABCD. That's anybody can data science. So you have the mentorship of other data scientists who kind of like guide you through, like they're pretty much your shadows as you work through a particular project. Like there are different options. There's also like a full-time, like a six, not a full-time, sorry, what am I saying? So it's like a 6-month duration course. I think people need approval from their managers, but they kind of can spend 1 day every week for a period of 6 months to kind of upskill, right, in ML and data science. And another interesting thing is that if you're specifically looking for training in some areas, or let's say you want to do your master's in data science or something like that, so Intuit has tie-ups with premier universities like with Pilani and stuff, where you're also encouraged to like come on board, and as you work you can also upskill yourself that way. So this is specifically what the company itself does, right? When you join, you have these options if you feel like you want to supplement yourself with all of these options and then like take your learning forward. But while we're at it, right, like I don't know if you'll be at Intuit or not, but nevertheless, you still want to upskill, right? Now, it doesn't matter whether you're a seasoned data scientist or you're like a total noob trying to break into data science. Maybe you're a backend engineer who wants to like learn some tools of the trade, right? So yeah, like there are two ways that I would look at it, right? Like pick up all of the concepts that's possible, right? Take MOOCs, look at blogs that are written by other data scientists, right? Like wild ML blogs are a great place to start. I mean, like I said, I wasn't even in this field, right? So you need to start somewhere. So take a look at Christopher Ola's blog or Aman Chadda's blogs specific to ML, but they're good reads that give you an idea of all the concepts, right? There are some things that come only with formal training, like I think both Rishi and Sejuti at some time mentioned, right? You need to know math, you need to know statistics, right? And knowledge of that subject is very important if you have to like figure out what the data is telling you and how to diagnose data. So yeah, those things are learnable outside of a job as well. Unfortunately, there are some things that you learn only in the product world, like only when you're actually working on something will you understand certain limitations. Like not all organizations can afford to put everything in production, right? So you only learn when you're actually part of a system. So maybe you're trying to like build out real-time inference model using GPT-3, and then you kind of understand that, hey, no, I can't go ahead and put this out there in prod, it's cost prohibitive, whatever, right? So there are, it's a combination really. So yeah, while you have support for upskilling yourself in a lot of ways from the organization, I would definitely recommend make a start outside as well.
Absolutely. Okay, we are almost nearing the end. In the interest of time, there have been many questions, but we would not be able to take all of them. Before wrapping up, I quickly want to take up a very interesting questions. For people who will join Intuit, I would like to understand what are their growth opportunities in their career, what all benefits they're going to get in terms of their career growth. If you can explain that, and then we will quickly wrap up the session.
Sure. So maybe I'll take that up question. So Radhika, feel free to chime in. So the career growth at Intuit, right? So the first thing that I want to emphasize is that we are very open in terms of what exactly is the career path for every employee who joins. Like suppose you are joining as a software engineer, what are the growth paths in software engineering? If you're joining as a data scientist, what is a different hierarchy, or how do you grow yourself as a data science? Same for other job families like a product management, program management, product designers, because we hire across job families, across levels at Intuit. Next question in terms of progression can be in terms of, okay, if I'm a software engineer, can I move into a different job family? Definitely yes. So Intuit encourage a lot of mobility options within within the organizations to different BUs, the various different product lines that you want to work upon, or take up additional new technology, work on something different, like a software engineer who wants to become an aspiring data scientist. What is Intuit doing? So Intuit provides platforms and trainings, as Radhika mentioned, right? So we have also provide a master's in data science options that we have to somebody who wants to do masters in data science. So we provide that. So different programs are Intuit organized so that you pick up that skill and start working on those and move your career in the line which you want to do it. So the option is wide open. We have been very open and transparent about it. So opportunities are there. You have to just pick it up.
Thanks, Rishi. And one more thing that I want to add here is, guys, I'm not exactly sure when you say like career growth, what you have in mind, but there's a very important craft portion, right? Like you come in with, let's say, certain amount of skills, right? And you have the opportunity of learning as you apply AI, right? So Intuit is this company which is uniquely positioned because we don't move our data scientists to, let's say, work from one project to the next, right? So basically what happens is you have this nice peer circle and you're actually working so closely with them. In the process, I've heard from everyone on the team, this is unanimous, by the way, that they get to like better their craft, right? They imagine you have such easy access, working very closely with PMs, working with end customers. These are very unique opportunities in the industry. You don't really come across such opportunities very easily. So I think there's a lot to be said that you can actually develop craft also, and that's a kind of growth in itself, right? That stays with you for your career.
Very nicely put. Thank you once again, Radhika and Rise. Great session. A lot to learn in terms of not only making a career in analytics at Intuit, but as a whole, how the analytic industry work, what sort of projects that people can work on, and of course the working culture and the type of work that they can do or take up projects at Intuit. So great session, Radhika. Great session, Rise. Thanks for joining us. And I hope it has been fruitful to our audience as well. And as I mentioned, I have dropped the link of the job openings at Intuit at the on our chat window. So please go ahead and check out. It would be, maybe this would be your dream company. Why not? So yeah, thank you once again for joining this session.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.